What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Mile High Hockey, presented by our good friends over at Mountain High Appliance, with you 5 days a week during the playoffs.
Nice.
Thanks to Mountain High Appliance. Mike Evans back with me today. And Mike, oh boy, it was a late night for Colorado sports fans, particularly Avs fans, with that game going to overtime. I'll just ask you, how big of an opportunity did they squander to really put a stranglehold on this series and go up 2-0? Instead, they lose 4-3 in overtime.
Yeah, it's one of those things, right? Like you always hear it in sports. Hey, if you had told me back before all this began that we'd be in this situation, would you have taken it? Yeah, if you had told me at the beginning that you'd already had the split taken care of and you already had home ice back under control, would I have been happy with that? Yeah, but then if I found myself, with a power play chance late in regulation on into overtime, and I know I'm just one lucky shot, bounce, break, deflection away from being up 2-0 and effectively driving the stake through the heart of the Dallas Stars, I'm like, yeah, maybe they missed out on an opportunity. But I guess I'll just sum it up this way. They got what they needed, which was the split, and in the process, at least convinced these eyes as I was watching the two games, they are the better hockey team. They are the better hockey team. Now let's go out and prove that over the course of the remainder of this series.
Yeah, I think they're the better hockey team too. I thought last night they were the better hockey team, but that doesn't mean there's not holes in this team right now, because, Mike, I felt like last night I heard Parker Kelly and Jack Drury and Logan O'Connor's name way more than I heard Valeri Nichushkin, Brock Nelson, and Jonathan Drouin. What is going on right now when it feels like the fourth line is getting all this ice time and all this attention? And yes, Logan O'Connor had an unbelievable goal, and Jack Drury had a goal. I get it. But the way these guys are paid, this is not quite adding up right now. We always say, well, they lost Nichushkin in the last two playoffs. That's why they flamed out. Well, right now, he was fine in overtime. He actually did have good legs in OT, but like a guy like Brock Nelson, a guy like Jonathan Drouin, they're just ghosts at the moment.
Well, right now, your fourth line is, it's arguably your top line right now through the first two games. It really is. And I'm with you. I was, as I'm watching that overtime, I was thinking the same exact thing. I'm like, wow, I'm hearing a lot of fourth line references. But when you look at the relative no-show, that second line, and this isn't my opinion, this isn't your opinion, Jared Bednar was asked after the game, what do you need to see more of from the second line? And he just very, very terse said, we need more. And so Brock Nelson, Val, Jonathan Drouin, I guess you're officially on notice here going into game 3 and 4.
Yeah, no, I agree. It was crazy to me. Felt like the fourth line got so much ice time last night. Like I was constantly hearing those names. And now the third line, oh, baby, Mike, this is where the drama is and the juice is. Gabriel Landeskog takes warmups. The Avs release, or the NHL releases a roster that says he's in and Miles Wood is scratched. And then 15 minutes later, we're just kidding. Gabe is scratched. Miles Wood is in. We go to overtime. Miles Wood's on the ice, little knuckle puck that's sitting there forever. He takes the blame post-game. So the guy who's taking the blame post-game for losing you the game played instead of the captain. And the Avalanche have this bizarre 35 minutes. I don't know if it's mind games. I don't know if they're trying to see how Gabe feels. Jared Bednar's explanation was he just wanted to get out there and warm up. I thought the whole thing, to be honest with you, was kind of a bad look from the Avalanche. It's too unique of a situation to be playing mind games. If you're going to let Gabe warm up, let him play. And, oh, by the way, I think he would have been better than Miles Wood was last night. Lots to unpack here, but just your take on the whole bizarre Landeskog situation.
Yeah, it was bizarre. And Miles Wood, by the way, after the game came out and said he knew the day before he was going to be in the lineup. So the fact that he showed up on the scratch list and only to have that reverse, I don't know what the plan was here, because make no mistake, there were plenty of Avalanche fans out there who were really, I guess, not happy, upset, but disappointed. They really felt like they were put through the emotional ringer all day long, because as this thing started to go throughout the day and then climaxing with him being the first skater out onto the ice following Mackenzie Blackwood for the warm-ups before the game, at that point, it reached a fever pitch that Gabe's back. I had friends of mine from the East Coast who were reaching out going, this is going to be amazing. What a story this is. And then all of a sudden, whoop, it flips. The only thing I could think of, okay, I'm going to give the Avs the benefit of the doubt here, is that, hey, the plan all along was for Gabe to come back in Game 3. Before the home crowd, just an unbelievable scene. And this was just yet another couple of boxes that Gabe was able to check off before he makes this return. I mean, because think about it. You know, the moment he comes out on, let's say he comes out on the ice for the warm-ups at Ball Arena, place is going to start crackling with excitement.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe this is just for something that's going to be unbelievably emotional. Maybe this is just taking some of the emotion out of it for Gabe, because I can't really imagine, Will, that the Avs gained so much of a from a game plan standpoint that they got so far into the heads of the Dallas Stars with the idea that, hey, Gabe may be playing, that it's somehow made up for really kind of the emotional roller coaster that you put your fans through, that some of them didn't like.
Yeah, I'll raise my hand. I thought it was handled poorly by the Avalanche last night. I just did, and I didn't love the explanation post-game. And, I had a friend reach out who covers the NFL and says, I have never in my life been handed an NFL inactive sheet before a game. And they go, oh, just kidding. Just kidding. And that's what the NHL did last night. And we've gone on and on this year on this podcast, Mike, about the secrecy and the injuries and all that. Again, I just think this was too unique of a situation.
Do you have a theory? I mean, I didn't
think it was gamesmanship. I think it was mind games and gamesmanship. But like, if you want to do that with a guy like Ross Colton, whatever, I don't care.
Right.
To do it with a guy like Gabe, when we're talking about 1,030 days, and like you said, get the fan base all riled up, get all these stories, he's back, and then just flip it. Like, again, it'd be like the Broncos saying Bo Nix is scratched because he's not healthy. Oh, wait, just kidding. He actually is healthy. He's like, or vice versa. It just, it's unfair to the fans. And again, I don't know what kind of edge you got over the Stars by pulling that. That's all I'm saying.
If you're telling me, hockey guy out there, that the way the Avs handled it, that they did gain some advantages when it came to, preparing for this game, or more importantly, how Dallas had to prepare for the game. Okay. If you're telling me that that's the case, okay, I'll buy it. Boy, that's a bit of a stretch. I can't imagine that the Dallas Stars, understanding the respect they have for Gabe Landeskog, I can't imagine they're spending a whole lot of time game planning as to, if he's out there, what's it going to look like versus if he's not out there. You know what I mean?
All right, let's close with this. The intensity of playoff hockey.
Oh.
Every year we go through it, and then you get to overtime. Mike, I was pacing. I was just pacing in my living room. And every time I looked up, it was just like you did the little cringe or like, for my money, nothing in sports beats it, because it can flip on a dime and then the dagger rip your heart out as that puck is sitting there knuckle pucking. And I'm like, they're going to score. They're going to score. Because Mackenzie Blackwood just looked so uncomfortable, right? Like he almost looked like he was willing to stop the puck. And it's like, he's not in a good position. If he snipes one top corner, it's ball game. And that's what it was. Your emotions during OT last night, because again, it's just so intense.
It's like every year comes around, it's another year of playoff hockey. And even though I know that there's nothing like playoff hockey, the first time I watched playoff hockey, I'm just reminded there's nothing like playoff hockey. I mean, it's incredible. And what made this overtime almost a little bit different was sometimes, Will, like both teams come out at the start of overtime and they just throw everything into those like first 5-7 minutes of overtime. And then there's almost kind of a lull as each team sort of like tries to recover a little bit, or both teams come out and are playing it really kind of close to the vest, not trying to make that mistake. It was almost like these two teams signed a pact before overtime to just say, heck with defense. Yep. We're just going for it. And we're looking to try to spring any skater we can. We're looking for long passes. We are all about going on the offense. Who cares about playing it close to the vest defense? Are you with me? Yeah, let's do it. Let's go. And both teams put on an absolute show for the entire overtime. It was breathtaking. Honestly, it was breathtaking. And there were moments where I was like, can you guys please, somebody deflect the puck into the net just so I can take a breath, please?
Yep.
Because I can't hold up. This is amazing.
No, it was the same way. Like I felt like I just got off a roller coaster. And unfortunately, It was not the good kind of roller coaster because you just knew when that puck was sitting there. It's amazing how fast your brain can work. But as that puck was sitting there, it's like, yep, the Stars are going to win it.
Well, it was because as you had watched that overtime play, it was like everybody was just like selling out. There didn't seem to be any open ice, right? And for that one moment, all of a sudden, there's a shot. And wait a minute, you haven't accounted for Blackwell. He's still there. And the puck's still there. What are you doing? And then, of course, it ends up in the back of the net.
Blackwell beats Blackwood, and the Avalanche and the Stars are now tied 1-1. I'll be back tomorrow with my guy Drew Spivak to preview Game 3. Mike will be back on Thursday as we react, hopefully, to a 2-1 Avalanche series lead. Once again, thanks to our friends at Mountain High Appliance. Mile High Hockey coming at you every day during the playoffs. We'll see you tomorrow.